Welcome to Ellis, Mowers, and more. First off, I want to thank Hipa for being a great partner to the channel. And in this video, we're going to use some Hipa carb kits to get a Stihl FS90R, FS56RC, and an FS38 going. I'll show you the process of replacing all three of these carburetors. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, I want to thank Hipa for partnering with me on this video, and they're a great company, good customer support, and good products. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. Well, it's time to take this carb off of this Stihl FS38. So get a couple 8mm. Take this off. You have to take, obviously, the air filter cover and the air filter off. And the guy who had this before me thought that I guess it was a good idea to run it without an air filter. So I did check compression and everything, so it should be good. Your fuel lines, you may have to break them with a little screwdriver. Maybe this will work. We're going to get these off. I think we're going to use these. You can get these without the fuel lines. Generally, these fuel lines last really well on these Stihls. But either way, you just pull this. You have a throttle cable down on the bottom. This plate will actually come off with it. You'll pull the cable out from the back side there, and you'll just slide the old carb off. Just like so. And then we're going to get the new carb. This is one of the easiest carburetors to put on, honestly. So we'll get the new carburetor on. Now it's time to put it on. This one actually had a little provision for this style throttle. I just took the E-clip out. I think this is going to work just fine. There are obviously many different variants and versions of these carburetors, so sometimes you have to do a little bit of work in order to get it. I didn't buy any gaskets or anything because I have them. The gasket on here looks like it's pretty good as well, so we're going to slide this back on. That goes into a little loop there, and then the fuel lines themselves are going to go like so. Your throttle cable. As well, and all that good stuff. So yeah, so got it all back together now. We'll push everything. Let's see, I'm just trying to look at the throttle cable to make sure it's doing what it needs to. Okay, it is, which is good. Once I get everything kind of shoved back in here, it should be even better. So I'm gonna put a new, all you gotta do now is put the new fuel or your air filter base plate on, and your air filter on with the two 8mm nuts. One other thing you're going to check, put gas in it, prime it, make sure that it is priming, but that's how it all goes back together. And I'll show you this now. Gasket, and then you'll put the air filter backing plate on, followed by a couple of 8mm screws here, or nuts. And you just gotta be careful not to strip them whenever you put them on. Okay. So air filter goes in, and then the actual air filter cover goes in. So there we go. And then just fill it up, prime it, and we'll see how well it runs here next. And just as a quick aside, if you need to make any throttle adjustments, there's a nut right, or screw right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but right there, it's like a T25, T27, and you screw it in. This one, the throttle wasn't coming up all the way, which is what I was looking at earlier, and then you can see now that the throttle is going up full. So that may be one other thing you might have to do when you have everything like this, but now we're at the point we can put it all and test it out. Okay, let's see what we got. I do have it priming. It is priming good, which is good. I'll choke it to start and give it a pull. Be moving when you have the throttle off. That's good. I do have to replace the pull rope on this, but the carb portion of this is done, so that's awesome. That's how you replace one of these carbs. Very easy to do, and honestly, these things will last forever, even if you halfway take care of them. All right, so we're gonna put the carburetor on this FS56RC now. All I've done so far is gotten 3 bolts off the back for the pull rope cover just to give me better access, and then 1 bolt for the air filter cover. The air filter comes out and this piece comes out, and this is where I'm at, so I'm not really too far, just a couple T27 torques here. What you have to do to get the throttle out is you have to push this down and then pull the throttle cable, let's see, out as good as we can here. It's going to be a little tricky, but we'll take care of it. So there we go. I have taken also the line off of the back of this air filter backing plate. I've taken the line off of the fuel line off right here at the top, and I've got to take the one off of the bottom. A lot of times a flathead screwdriver will get it. And if there's any gas, you can pour it out, or to relieve the pressure so it doesn't come out of the line here, just slightly undo the cap, break the seal. So this should come out. It does. Great. Got a seal on the back here. I'm pretty sure the diaphragm was gone on this because it wouldn't rev up. So I'm going to get the new one here now. And the new carburetor just the carburetor here looks like this, right? So what I've got to do is match it up here. So we've got gaskets on both sides. This is just the carburetor. I've got a ton of gaskets. I'm going to find those gaskets and get them on here. We're going to slide this on. It's going to slide on like this right here. And basically I'm just going to do the reverse of what I just did in order to take it off. I'm going to get those gaskets. We'll put this back on. Well, we're going to put this on now. Found gaskets. Again, you can order this carb kit with gaskets, air filter, and all that. Everything on this one is pretty good. The gasket with holes in it goes in first, followed by the carburetor. At this point, we can go ahead and fit the fuel lines back on if you don't have to replace them. Generally, Stihl fuel lines stand up very well to the test of time. You don't have to replace them every few years, unlike these cheapo weed eaters. So, which is very nice. Just going to slide that flexible line back in, and then we will go ahead and take care of the throttle as well while we're here. Throttle's a little tricky, like I mentioned earlier, but not too bad, all things considered. And let's see here. Alright, so we've got that on, throttle check, looks good. Then we'll put the other gasket on up top here, and then what we can also do now is go ahead and test the prime to make sure that we're getting good priming, which it's good. You see the primer bulb fill up right there. Gasket's on. Backing plate next. Should go like this if I were to guess. Yes. Pull this black piece off first here, and then we'll put the 8mm back in. Great. And this clips back in. We do have the air filter as well. Air filter's okay. Seen much worse than this before. And then your, let's see, air filter cover here, which we'll get on. Figured I'd just show the whole process here, putting it back since it doesn't take too long. We've got 3 bolts here. You may have to take this gas cap off in order to get it back on, but 3 bolts here in order to get this pull mechanism back on here. Just got to make sure it gets into all the slots and everything that it needs to in order to work properly, which can be a little bit tricky. Let's see, got to get it past there, and like I said, I just got to get it all locked into place here. A little bit of a fine science. I'll take care of that, let you know the tricks. We'll start this up hopefully here next. Alright, so let's see if this carb will bring us back to life. I haven't even started it yet. We're going to try this together, so let's do it. Push in for the choke. Excellent right there, guys. So works well, obviously, and should be good. It's just a little doesn't have a lot of string on the weed eater, but we'll just crank it back up to make sure. Boom. So that fixed it. It was bogging down whenever you tried to give it gas beforehand, so that's super nice that fixed the weed eater. So here we go with the FS90. We're going to take care of this now. Maybe I can show you start to finish. Shouldn't take too long. Just want to show you that it's really not that bad to do here. We got T27 Torx to take off the air filter here. And we're going to do just the carb only again on this one. Take out the air filter. We've got a couple of 8mm screws. Gotta get in there and take those off. Alright. We should be able to get this off now. Kind of looks like I've got to take another Torx here to get this off, so we can get that off. We've got a line here on the back that we need to take off as well. Off the back of the air filter cover. So we'll get that. Usually a screwdriver will help it expand and get off like it needs to. Okay. And then, so that kind of allows us to get everything out of the way there, which is nice. Let's see what we can do with the fuel lines here. We'll crack this open. And the throttle's back there in the back, so I'm going to take these Torx, get T20s and get those 2 bolts out, and then we'll get the carb off. Alright, so we're going to try and do all this without taking this off or anything like that, which we should be able to. There's a little throttle mechanism there, keeps the throttle in. Just have to pull the throttle wide open, and while the cable is closed, and pull it off just like you did there. We've got 2 fuel lines to take off on the other side here. Again, we're just doing the carb only here. You can replace the fuel lines if you decide you want to. Everything else on this weed eater appears to be in pretty decent shape, so we're not going to worry about that. And we should be able to just pull this carb right off now. Should we? Let's see. I think it's stuck on there, stuck on the little breather down here in the back, so see if I can get that off while we pull this off. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty easy. We've already got the carb gasket here, which should be good. So we'll go ahead and put that back on, or put this on. Make sure the breather tube is where it needs to be. Oh, helps when you put it in the right hole. Trying to put it in the throttle hole there. Just make sure you put your little pulse breather back in when you do this. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Pull the throttle cable up. Slide it in. Put it in just like that. And then pretty much just repeat the process of what we just did with fuel lines and all that good stuff. So we've got the return line on this side, which is the short one. Then the long line over on this side goes into the, I think that's the inlet, but just coordinate fuel lines. You can see we've got good priming, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and put so the gasket stayed on here, which is good. We're going to go ahead and go ahead and put this back on, because I think we can do that. Your two 8mm. And let's see if we can get this in here. Don't want to kind of hem us up there. So this should just slide right in to place there. We'll get that in just a second. And I'll let y'all know how that goes. For the T20s, like I said, we'll get this together here. Get this on. There we go. And just got to get it into the little hole there for the... There's like a little hole that these things go into so they don't go anywhere. And I got to figure that out. So let me get all that figured out. We'll get this all put back together. So it's just a couple little pieces that these fall into on the top and on the bottom, little plastic pieces to help keep everything in place. That's all. A couple 8mm take care of the air filter. We'll go ahead and put the air filter back on, as well as the air filter cover. Like I said, we got everything priming already, which is good, which means that this should run hopefully pretty well. Get it back going. Should be good for the owner. Let's test it out. Alright guys, let's give it a try here. Make sure that it is on. We have a few primes. Pulled over the choke. Oh, I had it on choking. Idle's a little bit up on this one. See if it'll start back up. That's great. So that's everything there. Seems like the clutch might be a little wore out on this, but that's alright. In terms of it not returning like it needs to. That's alright, go. Pretty much got it done. Fixed another of the mountain of things that I need to fix here, thankfully. So again, I want to thank Hipa for being a partner to the channel and for all the support. There's links down in the description to these carb kits, and also a discount code down there as well if you purchase anything off of Hipa's website. You can also find their stuff on Amazon as well, depending on whatever avenue you want to buy from. So we got the FS90, 56, and 38 back going again with these Hipa carb kits, and they're ready to go out to either be sold or go back to their owners to be put back in service. Again, thanks Hipa for letting me partner with y'all in getting these two-cycle Stihls back going again. They should last a good little while before they need any more service. Thanks again for watching this repair video. Hopefully y'all found it helpful and informative, especially if you're looking for a good carb replacement for one of these machines, as well as how to put them on your machine. And I'll catch y'all on the next video.